Welcome back to another episode of Tales from the Rig, where you and I find out at the same time what we're talking about today when my wife reveals photos, videos, and or just verbal clues to a tale from our time on the road together as full-time RVers for 3 years now. 3.5?
Yeah, 3.
3?
Please don't make me math on this one. It's too hard. This week's clues are photos, and I'm going to tell you, I think this one is a little tricky. Like, this is going to take some going into your mind palace to put some pieces together.
Got
so
it.
are you ready?
I think.
Okay. Photo 1. For those of you listening and not watching, it is a warning.
I know exactly what this is.
It is a warning about bears. Bear aware as the sign title.
That's right.
I don't think you do know.
I think I do.
Okay. So then the second part of the clue is this picture.
Uh-huh.
Which is best standing by a very peaceful waterfall with a hiking backpack surrounded by lush green trees.
Mm-hmm.
Based on the eyes you're giving me, I think you might know what this is going to turn into.
Were we in Washington?
Yes. Yes, we were in Washington.
Yeah, I'll never forget those bear aware signs.
Okay, but there's another piece that I'm not sure you understand that we're going to talk about. So shall I reveal the title?
Yeah, I do think I know what piece you're talking about, though.
The title of this tale is called Shewee and the Bear.
Yep. That's exactly what I thought it was going to be. As soon as I saw the bear aware sign, I was like, I know exactly what this is.
Before we get into the story, we need to row the boat backwards and bring up our awesome friends, Holly and Will. We, in Vegas, went on a hike with them. And to set the scene, we are not hikers. We thought we were until we realized what we actually like is to just like walk in the woods on a path.
That's exactly what it is.
The same elevation, no terrain changes.
Like, I mean, like quick terrain changes.
Yeah.
Like, just like a few steps up and we're like, whoa, that
Woo!
really almost got us.
Woo!
Yeah.
And our friends Holly and Will, they are hikers. They are so impressive to me. Their endurance levels, like they will hike miles upon miles. And they were telling us about this place inside Nevada, which was called
Valley of Fire.
Fire of the Valley.
Nope. Valley of Fire.
Valley of Fire. It was a state park. They were actually camping there and it was gorgeous. And they were like, why don't you guys come out? We'll do a hike. And I'm already panicking. I'm like, yes, we would love to come with you. But like, just so you know what level we're starting at, it's the baby beginner level. So like, please don't take us on a 10-mile hike.
It's millennials walking in the woods where is the level we are
I
at.
walk outside in the woods. I walk outside in the woods. I go to the woods and then I walk.
Yeah, that's the level we were at.
We'll have to link that. We'll have to bring that back. That was a TikTok trend.
We met Holly and Will in Arizona a year later or whatever. We were going to be in the same state again. And we were like, oh my gosh, let's hang out. They were like, let's go hiking at Valley of Fire. That's where we're camping. We were like, cool. We've never been there. It was like 45 minutes away and it was fantastic. It was super cool.
Beautiful.
Felt like I was in a movie. Leading up to this trip, Holly said, hey, I don't know if you guys have ever used these before, but they're really helpful for long hikes. It's a Shewee.
Because we were asking about hiking supplies. Because we wanted to become hikers, but we didn't know how. So we were like Googling footwear and straw water backpacks. And
I mean, we were really going for it. It was literally one hike. And Court was like, what kind of hydration do we need here?
I wanted hiking poles so bad and I never got them, which is fine because we never really hiked again. So anyway.
The peeing conversation came up because, well, I don't know about you, but I pee about every 30 feet. It was hot and we were going to be hydrating. And Holly said, oh my gosh, you should get one of these things, which basically amounts to a funnel that you pee in on trails.
Yeah, it's called the Shewee. She just said Shewee, and we were like, what is that?
A brand is called Shewee.
Oh, I thought that was what the device was called.
No.
What's the device
I mean,
called?
I'm not sure, but I would call it a female peeing funnel. Peeing funnel.
I really went rogue with the title of this then. I thought they were all called Shewees.
No, but shout out to Shewee, I suppose. I don't even think ours are Shewee brand. Anyway, the bottom line is Holly says, I find little bugger to be extremely helpful on hikes because you can just step off the trail and go. Get it before you come and then practice with it. You're supposed to practice in the shower so that you know how to use it so you don't pee all over yourself when you try to use it on the trail and you have to go to the bathroom quite badly.
Basically like an oil funnel that you shove in your pants so it
Yep.
can come out like you have a part that you don't have if you don't have that part.
A funnel.
Is that what
attached
we're
to.
calling a penis?
Yes. First of all, I just have to sidetrack real quick and say I love how focused this podcast is on our bodily functions in the first
That's our
episodes.
life. There are so many stories that lead back to this because
Yep.
that is our life. Bodily functions.
I don't even know if we got it by the
We
trip.
didn't.
They didn't come in time.
They came the day after. So we did not have them for the trip. So I think we held it the whole time.
Yep.
Or they had like one bathroom that was along the trail. We ended up holding it the whole time. But Holly, God,
Man,
she is
the
so
bravery.
cool. First of all, I just
She's
love
very
Holly
cool.
as a person. She is so courageous and brave, and she's just very bold in what she wants to do. And she's very sweet and loving as well. She's like the
Totally.
whole rounded package of a kind friend. And she has to pee. And
This is a totally different story we're telling right
that's
now.
fine. It's
Okay.
important. So we're on
Okay.
this hike and she has to pee and she's like, I'm going to go over here and pee. And we're like, okay, cool. But she does her thing and she just pees off of the trail into the bush. And I'm like in awe. I'm like trying not to watch. I'm trying not to be weird, but I'm like, this is so cool.
Oh no, she told us to watch. I specifically remember because me, you, Will were walking ahead and Jojo was up there with us too, their dog who's
Ugh,
adorable.
We freaking love Jojo.
Jojo is like the best hiker. But anyway, she said, I have
Watch
to
this.
pee. Watch, guys. This is how easy it is. And so we all turned around and she was just
Nothing
like
was
her
showing.
feet were literally on the trail still.
Yeah.
And she's just
It
peeing
was-
out the side.
That's the cool part about Holly is she's so good. Her and Will both are like so good at teaching and educating. They make everything just feel easy and like casual.
easy.
And watch this. So we were like, oh my gosh, this is
She's
so
peeing
cool.
like a pro.
She's
how
peeing
cool.
like a pro. Nothing showing. And she now has comfortably gone to the bathroom and we can resume our hike. So
Okay. Now fast forward to the actual story, the actual tale for today. And we're in Washington,
Chehalis?
probably.
Chehalis.
We were like, let's go for a hike. So we go to this nearby trail. Beautiful. It's
so pretty.
very lush as the picture shows. But it was also springtime. So everything has bloomed and or is blooming. And there's all these signs about bears.
Yes. So right like when you get up to the trail, there are all of these posters about bears, what kind of bears they have. And in Washington, I believe there actually is a chance of grizzly bear. I knew there were a few states, like that's not very common, but I think it was Oregon, Washington, and one other state like Northern California where grizzlies were a thing and black bears. So they had these posters, these bear aware signs, and we're like, okay, got it, bears, you know, whatever.
We were bear aware.
We were bear aware and we
That's
saw
right.
other people on the trails. So we're like, okay. And it actually has very helpful tips. Like if you don't know anything about bears, like we grew up in Michigan, so we don't have grizzlies. We have black bears. So I kind of knew like generally what you're supposed to do, but this was like very particular. Like do not have food on you. If you do, make sure it's sealed. If you throw things away, like they will smell it. This is what you do if you encounter a bear. So we're like bear aware. And
It was particular enough that you're like, someone has seen a bear multiple times
Someone
on
became
these
a
trails.
bear snack because they didn't wrap up their snack. That was the vibe it was giving.
Yeah.
So we read the signs, we start to go on the trail, and as Beth, we brought our Shewees. I quite honestly, in my memory, think this hike was inspired by the Shewee. I think we were like, we're going
We
to
were
use
empowered?
these things. Yes, we were so empowered. We were coming out of COVID. We're like, let's go pee in the woods and have a day hiking. Like I remember being on a high with the Shewee.
Right.
You had practiced in the shower.
I tried. But also, when everything is warm in the shower, it's hard to tell if you peed down your leg or not. We start out on this hike, and it's a switchback up this mountain, and we're literally into like the third switchback. Like we are not far up. So we're in the area where there are still plenty of hikers who, I mean, you're at the start of the trail. So, like, you haven't gotten far enough up that you're going to branch off into other paths where other people are walking in the woods. I was like, I hate to do this, but I have to pee right now.
Which, by the way, this is life with Beth and Court. I feel like every adventure we go to, we pee before we leave the house, like we're elementary students going on a bus. And then the second we get there, Beth is like, I really have to pee. And I'm like, okay, we don't do pee shame. Like, if you have to pee, you have to pee. I should have seen that this was coming.
Yeah.
And yes.
The drive was like 20 minutes. It was
super
basically a slam dunk that I was going to have to pee when we got there. I don't know that
if you remember this, you actually peed at the outhouses where the bear signs were, because we both peed again.
Oh, that doesn't shock
me.
To
make sure it was out of our system. So from the time of the outhouse up to where we were, it was maybe like 12 minutes.
Yeah. So anyway, I was like, hey, babe, shockingly, I have to pee now. And she was like, oh, okay, well, you've got your Shewee and, well, go for it. And so I am self-conscious because I'm like, we literally just saw people, so I'm gonna have to pee quick, but also like I need to get off the trail. I am not brave like Holly. I could not just stand on the trail and pee off of it. I was like, I'm gonna have to go into the woods. So I go like 4 feet in, and then all of a sudden I was like, babe, bear aware though. I can't pee where there are bears. So then I was like torn between going in further and then staying where I was, so I wasn't a bear snack. So,
and can you please describe what kind of pants you were wearing?
Yes, the pants are very important because I was wearing athletic pants like I am right now. They weren't Reebok sweats, but they were sweats of sorts. They were Nike sweats. And the thing is, I pulled the Shewee out, and all of a sudden I was like, oh no, Holly had pants that zipped. And then I was like, how am I... oh no. And then I realized in order to put the device in place, I would have to like basically pull down the front of my pants. And we're
Can
like,
I just say, from my view, I'm on the trail. I'm standing guard. I'm like making sure no one comes around.
What are you gonna do if someone comes around? Yell, "Don't look! My wife's peeing."
My wife is using her Shewee, and she's afraid a bear's gonna eat her. Give her a moment. And the look on your face. The best way I know how to find a comparison is like a toddler that has to poop in the potty, but they don't want to, and so they're like moving around and adjusting, and they're like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're gonna have to do it.
I was trying to figure out, how do I put this thing in place and not like completely pull my pants down
to moon everyone.
And also it completely defeats the purpose. So I'm trying not to run into a bear. I'm also trying not to, for anyone else to run into my bear with my pants being down too low. And then I'm also like, I have to pee. Like, that's why we're here. So I was like, I have to pee. And then I was like, babe, I don't know what to do. I don't know that it's in right, but it's coming. And so I started peeing, and very quickly I realized we're not in the shower anymore. And I can very quickly tell I am peeing down my leg. And as I am panicked because I'm peeing down my leg and there's no stopping it, like you're midstream.
When you have to go that badly. Plus, like, your bladder urgency is very different than mine. Like when she has to go, it's like already happening. Whereas I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom.
Eventually.
I can probably hold it like 10, 15, maybe 30 minutes.
I realize things are not going well. And it's dripping down my leg. And as I'm like, no, and I'm trying to like adjust midstream while yelling to Court, babe, it's not working well. But while I'm fighting these two different thought patterns, the pee that is coming out the funnel, I'm now distracted by the pee running down my leg inside my sweats. And in my distraction, the pee that is coming out the funnel, I now accidentally aimed at my boot. And so now I'm fully peeing down my leg and on my boot at the same time while yelling to her,
help me.
Help. Then I heard people coming. And so then I panicked even more. And I'm shocked I didn't just pull the funnel out and pee everywhere. But
did you keep the funnel in place till the end?
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing. Like, because the funnel was there, my body was like, nuh-uh.
Yeah, I could.
And
Yeah.
so it was like
That's like when you can't poop when you're not home.
Yeah.
Like your body just knows.
Yeah, my body was like, why is this here? No, thank you. And I was like, no, we must go forth. So
I felt
anyway, it was
so bad.
it was
for you.
taking forever. And I was like, someone's literally going to see me peeing with my Shewee, and or a bear is going to be like, ma'am, what are you doing?
You had bears from the backside to be concerned about, people from the front, and then had to hike with this pea sock.
I then that's right. It collected on the rim of my sock, which was grosso. That's the story of how I pissed on myself in the woods.
But
Is that the name of it?
Yeah, Beth pisses on herself in the woods. It's Shewee and the bear.
Shewee and the
Thank
bear,
you.
yeah. That was quite an eventful adventure for us.
Yeah, we've hiked since then,
Probably.
but we have not used the Shewee. I've never used mine. It's there for good measure, but after seeing that happen to her, I was like, you know what? I think I'll just remain a squat girl. That's how we did it in Cadillac.
That's right.
You just balance on your thighs, and I'll just call that good. And
Grab
people
a
can
tree.
see my bear. Yeah, I don't really care.
Hopefully that was fun for you. If you don't already follow us on all social media channels, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, at Life with Beth and Court. Our website is lifewithbethandcourt.com, has some blog resources and other helpful resources and links over there. And anything else from you?
I think that's it. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
Bye.